It's Tuesday, November 28th, 2023. Please make sure to like this video. Make sure you share this video. Share all my videos all over your social media. Share it with your friends. Share my videos with people you don't know. Just share all these videos so we continue to get the message out, continue to wake up more people. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit that bell notification down below so that you are alerted when the newest videos drop. I want to get right into it today. We are a country that is inching closer to financial insanity. Before we get into that, I just want to recap a little bit about the markets today. Markets across the board up, nothing major, but markets were up across the board. And markets continue now to anticipate a Fed pause and a Fed reversal where the Fed, the markets do believe that the Fed by May of 2024 will be cutting rates, and maybe even as soon as March. This is what the markets are now interpreting or forecasting, and the markets are looking for any type of hope, any type of good news to keep this rally going. But this is it. What do you think? Are we going to see the Fed cutting rates in 2024? How do we get back to 2% inflation if the Fed is already cutting rates as early as March, but they're anticipating May, but as early as March? Gold today was up $30 an ounce, now sitting at $2,041 an ounce. So we're basically $20 away from the all-time high. People said that they'll buy gold because it's going to go to $800. Silver will go to $8. Well, silver now is over $25. It was up 36 cents today. And I think silver should be much, much more than $25 an ounce. Bitcoin up $1,100, sitting at $37,991. So it's about $32,000 off its all-time high, but having a very nice run. But gold is $20 off its all-time high. And it's concerning looking at this when you see gold now approaching the all-time high. And I did forecast 3 or 4 months ago that I believe that we would see gold break the all-time high this year by the end of this year, and it may happen. I don't know. It'll be close, but we're really, really close right now. But is it really good news? Not really, because the more we see gold prices going up, it's warning us that something's going on and it's not good. Again, remember, you don't buy gold for good times. You don't buy gold to flip. You buy gold to protect. You buy gold for uncertainty. And when you see gold prices going up like they are now, this is not a good sign. The gold market feels that something's going on, that maybe we're going to see more inflation, more uncertainty, problems with the economy. So it is definitely sending a signal. Now, shifting gears here. Why do I say that we're inching closer to financial insanity? Well, Black Friday weekend shopping turnout soars to a record as consumers seek bargains. 200 million people went shopping online or went to the malls over the 5-day weekend. The average shopper spent $321 on holiday-related purchases. Now, 60% of this country, 50 to 60% of this country doesn't even have $400 saved up for an emergency. But the average shopper spent $321 on their holiday shopping. I wonder where they got the money. Record Cyber Monday sales fueled by buy now, pay later craze as consumers spend beyond their means. This is on the Hedge today. More Americans rely on short-term loans to buy more junk made in foreign countries. And guess what country's making most of it? China. Another financial crutch for consumers addicted to spending. We have a spending addiction in this country where people just cannot stop buying stuff, and they will do it as long as they have access to buy now, pay later plans, credit cards, they are spending money they don't even have, getting deeper and deeper into debt. And, you know, just the other day when that person said, why do I care what people are doing, what they're spending? Because we're going to pay a price for this. And you and I, the taxpayer, who are being responsible, well, guess who will be on the hook for this? It'll be another 2008 where, hey, you know, the automakers, the airline companies, the banks, we're in trouble. We need money. We made bad loans. We gave people, these credit cards and they're defaulting, and we made bad loans on houses and they're defaulting. That's why I care, because the people who are responsible are going to pay for this. Online consumer spending skyrocketed 9.6% yesterday to $11.3 billion. So it's skyrocketing from 9.6% from last year up to $11.3 billion. From Thanksgiving Day to Black Friday to Cyber Monday, internet sales topped $38 billion. $38 billion. This is pure insanity. We are a bankrupt nation. You look at how many people have absolutely no money saved up at all. How many people are food insecure? How many people, 25,000+ people getting their cars repoed each day? And the uncertainty that maybe tomorrow or next week you may not have a job and people don't have any money put away. And then they keep acquiring more and more and more and more debt. The hedge is the American consumer tapped out. 57% cannot cover a $1,000 emergency. Remember, 25% haven't even paid off last holiday season, and they're still running up cards this year. 1 in 3 Americans are going out and getting credit cards just to go shopping this holiday season. 63% of this country cannot pay a $500 emergency. And as you know, as well as I know, emergencies typically cost more than $500 or $1,000. Your kid has to go to urgent care. Maybe you need a root canal. Maybe your transmission went out. Maybe it's another type of repair on your car. Maybe the hot water heater went out in your house. You can blow through $1,000 really, really quickly. $1,000 today is not much. What happens when millions of renters can no longer afford high rents and move back home? This is on the hedge side. This is a very, very good question. And I think personally, I've been watching this happen for a few years now, because in many, many parts of the desert out here, you're going to see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars parked at one house. Without airdrops of trillions of dollars in free money, the accumulated excesses of the economy have to sort themselves out the hard way via defaults, bankruptcies, insolvencies, layoffs, tightening credit, reduced spending, and consumption. The situation is far more precarious due to the spread of high rents. Now think about this. If we begin to see more and more people, and it says here millennials, but it's going to be more than just millennials. When millennials and other people say, hey, the rent's too high, I'm moving back in with my family, or we're just going to downsize and, we're all just going to move in one house, and, this group can leave their house and that group can leave their house, and we'll just all come to this house. So instead of 3 houses, everybody will live in one house. Well, what happens to the other 2 houses? What happens when millions of people are forced to say, hey, I got to move back home, or we're just all going to move in one house? That means you have an excess of houses. Now, we've talked many, many times about the Airbnb market and how much trouble that is in right now, because people just don't have the money to spend like they did, even though they're out, buying more goods, more garbage made in other countries. This is all coming to an end. But as we are witnessing the Airbnb market slow down, what happens when people just are so priced out of rent that they move back home? What happens to that rental property? More than likely, it's going to be on the MLS, the multiple listing service. It's going to be another listing. So between the inventory of all the new homes being built, the inventory of the Airbnb market, the inventory of rental properties that are going to be sitting vacant at some point, and many landlords just want to get out of the business altogether now, you're going to see much, much more inventory coming to the housing market in 2024. No doubt about that. And so I know people out there just believe that, you know, nothing's going to happen to housing, even though they don't even talk about commercial real estate now, how bad that is. They don't want to talk about housing because they don't want to scare anybody, because they know that at some point people are going to start running to the exits. It's going to be the landlords, the Airbnbers, all the short-term renters. It's going to be people that just can't afford rent. It's going to be a slew of things that causes this housing collapse. And then remember this. They like to tell us daily that there's no inventory. I'm going to tell you what there is a shortage of inventory of, and that is qualified buyers. People that actually have stable jobs, good credit, solid down payment, and people who can actually close an escrow. I think this year we've already seen over 60,000 homes that were in escrow fall out of escrow. I think last month we had 18% of homes that were in escrow, under contract, fall through. That's a lot of homes. A lot of homes. Here's another one from the hedge today. Egan von Greers, very intelligent gentleman here. The financial system has reached the end. In this article, he makes a very, very good point. All paper money goes to zero. And the dollar is almost there right now. The dollar has lost 99% of its purchasing power since 1971. Egan von Greers says this: there is no means of avoiding the final collapse of a boom brought on by the credit expansion. History never lies, but politicians do without fail. In a fake system based on fake values, lying is part of the political survival. And we hear it every day on these financial channels. We have the economists, the analysts, everybody coming on these shows, pumping these markets up, trying to sucker you into the housing market, sucker you into the stock market. Remember, the dollar has declined 99%, ladies and gentlemen, since 1971. Strength of the U.S. economy is also deteriorating fast. How much do you think that the U.S. dollar will be worth 5 years from now, if it's already lost 99% of its purchasing power? How much will the dollar be worth 5 years from now, a year from now? Every day with this inflation tax, we continue to lose more and more purchasing power. It's getting worse. And I will close on this last article, very interesting. This came from Fox Business. Difficult housing market forces divorced couples to live together. Feels like the impossible. When home prices fall and neither person can afford the mortgage of that house, because it typically takes at least 2 incomes now to afford the house. So as these home values fall and people are living paycheck to paycheck and they get a divorce, they're too broke to even get divorced at this point. This is how bad it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's so bad that people are too broke to even get divorced because they can't afford to give up the house. Neither one can afford the mortgage payment. So they got to stay together and hope somehow prices are going to go up or mortgage rates are going to go way down and they're going to get out of this disaster. And more than likely, it's not going to happen. So it is a crazy time in America, and I'm going to give a little forecast here. This is not a prediction. It's just a forecast. I don't have a crystal ball. But looking at the data, like many of you do daily, following all this, I believe 2024 is going to be an absolute nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare socially, politically, and financially. And you really, really need to be preparing for it. Too many people just want to talk about how this is just 100% financial. They never talk about the social fallout. They don't talk about the crime that's plaguing us right now and how bad it's going to get. They don't tell you that you should be preparing, that you better have security. You better have defensive skills to deal with it, because it is not just affecting bad parts of a city or bad parts of a neighborhood. It is affecting some of the wealthiest neighborhoods now in America. And it can happen to anybody. Anybody now could be followed home. It doesn't matter if you're in Beverly Hills or Malibu or Santa Monica or Palm Desert. It doesn't matter. The crime has gotten so out of control, and the criminals know that, hey, why stay in the bad neighborhoods when the good neighborhoods have all the nice watches, nice cars, nice jewelry, and nice things to steal? So we never really saw that. There used to be areas, you know, where you just knew it was 100% safe, right? I mean, it was just literally 100% safe. You could walk through Beverly Hills, never worry about anything. That is not the case now. That is not the case. So you really, really have to be exercising situational awareness. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. This thing is going to get so out of control. And so I wouldn't be sitting here, you know, giggling and jumping up and down that, oh, I'm going to get a house for 50% off, and I'm going to, you know, make money, and I'm going to buy a bunch of rental properties. The first thing you better worry about is keeping yourself, your family, and your assets safe. Then worry about making money and capitalizing on some sales. And there's no doubt sales are coming. But I would first focus on making sure I have security, that my family's safe, that my assets are safe, that I'm safe, because this is not just going to be a financial collapse, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a social collapse that has been taking place for a couple of years now. And this thing, I believe, is going to spiral out of control. And we have so many people now in this country, many people from all over the world. And when people get hungry, they're going to get absolutely crazy. Are we going to be able to accommodate all the people that have come here by feeding them, housing them, getting them jobs? What happens if we cannot do that? What kind of fallout do we see? It doesn't matter where you're from. When you get hungry, you begin to do very, very desperate things. And we all have to be aware of that. And it's another reminder to make sure that you are putting away food, emergency food, canned food, water filtration. Make sure you have extra, just all the extra gear that you think you would need if the power went out for a couple weeks or even a couple months. And again, make sure you can protect all this stuff. I'm going to leave it there today. Thanks for tuning in. I want to thank everybody again for all the prayers, all the letters, all the support, everything. None of this is possible without you. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the dislikes. I appreciate the comments, whether they be positive or negative. There's no perfect world. If you're just, you know, if you're watching a video and all it is positive comments, then you know it's pretty fake. I believe that you do have to have some negative comments. There's got to be another side. Whether they're right or wrong, you got to have both sides. And so I do appreciate the negative, although I do like the positive comments much more. And overall, the comments are amazing. And all of you have woken up so many people. You've made so many people think. You've made so many people wake up. You've made so many people prepare. I'm a person here. I'm a guy here with a camera and a microphone, and I'm talking about current events and the latest news. But some of you are just so awake, so intelligent. It makes me think, it makes my family think, my friends think, and I want to thank all of you for taking the time and for putting those comments down there, because they're extremely important, not just for me, but they're extremely important for people who are new to all this, who may not be awake. You have woken many, many people up because of those comments. So thank you so much. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't get complacent. Keep training. Keep stacking the food. Keep putting some cash away. Keep putting the gold and silver away. And just keep absorbing knowledge. Because 2024, I mean, this is what we're getting ready for, ladies and gentlemen. For the last few years, this is what we're getting ready for. God bless.